What's up, guys? So I wanted to hop on here again and post another video. So in this one, I'm still going to be talking about fitness, and I want to get more in depth as far as the differences between intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting, and kind of like what all that can entail. So if you haven't watched my last video, go ahead and watch that one. It's on my channel. Something about the basic intro to fasting. So in this one, let's go ahead and get started with talking about intermittent fasting. So I started intermittent fasting in like 2017-ish. No, 2016. Well, around that time, it doesn't matter. Anyway, with intermittent fasting, you have a time window of not eating of like around 18 hours. It could be anywhere from like 15 hours to like 19 hours if you're really pushing it for intermittent fasting. And that can include the time that you're asleep, obviously. So really when you're awake, it would only be like an additional however many hours plus, if you were sleeping for 8 hours. So this is a great way to stay lean, because it forces you to be in a caloric deficit unless you eat a ridiculous amount of food at like a late lunch or at dinner, obviously, because the way I do intermittent fasting, I skip breakfast. I feel like everyone should skip breakfast. Breakfast literally means breaking the fast. Like, I don't know. Breakfast in general, like, as far as society goes, I feel like it was definitely pushed on us to like eat more garbage foods like cereal. Like, what is cereal if you really think about it? Like, what is all this like Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms? Like, take a step back and actually think about, like, is this something that's healthy for me to eat, especially in the morning? You're basically eating dessert to start your day, like sugar garbage, and like it's not even like real food, like not even real sugar. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, don't eat breakfast is basically what I'm trying to say. So if you are eating in a caloric deficit, obviously you're going to lose weight, because you can only gain weight if you're eating more calories than your body expends, just through like day-to-day. Could be exercise, could be just like breathing. You burn a ton of calories even just when you're asleep. So basically, the longer you fast, the more calories you're gonna burn. And so intermittent fasting is a great tool, especially for people that are interested in fasting, to just get started with it, because you don't have to do like 18 hours every day or like 19 hours every day. Like, it could be 15 or 16 hours and it's still gonna work for you. So I would recommend this to anyone, because you can still eat whatever foods you want to within reason. Obviously, like, don't eat a whole box of donuts every single day. Like, let's not be ridiculous. But it's not like other diets like keto, for example, where like you can never eat carbs again, which to me sounds like freaking torture, if I'm being totally honest. So yeah, intermittent fasting has all kinds of health benefits, like muscle retention. It has anti-aging benefits. It can make your skin tighter, so making like less wrinkles in your face or in your body. And there's all kinds of others, like peer-reviewed studies that show that it's genuinely super healthy for you, but no one's willing to give fasting a chance, because like eating 3 meals a day has been like ingrained into our brains by the food industry and by like standard like public education that tells us like, oh yeah, the food pyramid, oh yeah, like 3 balanced meals every day, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Like, where do you think that information comes from? And why do you think it's been pounded so hard into our psyches, so much so that it's almost like subconscious for us to believe that? I mean, if we're just using like logical reasoning here, obviously it's from the food industry. Like, the food industry is worth billions and billions of dollars. And what does the food industry care about? They don't give a crap about your health. They don't care how healthy you are. They want you to eat more food, because that's how the food industry gets their money. So how can the food industry make more money? Well, simply tell you that, well, you need to eat more. You need to eat more meals. You need to eat well-balanced meals. You need to eat everything in the food group every single time that you eat. And so naturally, people listen to this and end up gaining weight because they eat 3 or 4 meals a day thinking that it's healthy. Like, no, it's not. Like, I'm so healthy. Like, I ate 3 balanced meals today. Like, absolutely not, dude. Like, you fasted for like 8 hours when you were asleep, and then 8 for the entire rest of the day. You had snacks in between each meal thinking that it's healthy. Like, just out of this world, the way that we have allowed the food industry to kind of brainwash us as a society. But anyway, let's get into more of prolonged fasting. So intermittent fasting, you know, anywhere between like 15 to 19 hours of fasting a day. And I'd say it's very doable, and the more you do it, the easier it will get. Once you have kind of graduated past that, like once that's really easy for you, there is what I call prolonged fasting. So prolonged fasting can be a fast that is 24 hours or more. So a 24-hour fast, let's say I eat at 8 p.m. today, I won't eat until 8 p.m. again tomorrow. So that would be about a 24-hour fast. Like if it ends up being like 23 or like 23 and a half, you know, whatever. Like it's not like a super big deal. It's not make or break. And then I say or longer because you can do longer fasts, like a 2-day fast or a 3-day fast that, sorry, it's super loud in Baltimore here. It's making me lose my train of thought. Anyway, the longer you fast for, the more of like a reset it's going to be for your body. And this is healthy for all kinds of reasons, like for spiritual reasons especially, as well as obviously for physical reasons. You know, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible, and in the Bible and in a lot of other religious texts, fasting is a very important practice. And I believe that there is a very logical reason that God had his armies fast before battles. So if you Google, you know, how long a human can fast for, I don't know exactly what it will say, but you know, you're probably led to believe it's something like a week or less. And I can tell you with certainty that is not the case. The more body fat you have, the longer you can fast, because like what I talked about in my last video, your body wants to use carbohydrates as fuel first for energy, and then it'll use fats for energy, and then if it has absolutely no fats, it'll use proteins for energy, and if it has no proteins, it'll use your muscle fibers, and that's not good, obviously. But if it doesn't have any fat in the system, like in the digestive system to use for energy, it's going to use your body fat for energy, so it'll just like melt off of you, essentially. So the longest fast I ever did was about 3 days, and that was great. But if you only do like super long fasts like that once in a while, it's obviously not going to do anything. That'd be like if you did a diet for a week and then never did it again. Like obviously you would lose all those gains. So prolonged fasting has to be something that you can kind of like integrate into your schedule. Obviously you don't want to be in a caloric deficit every single day for the rest of your life, or your body's going to go into like starvation mode. Your metabolism's going to crash and your body's going to go into a catabolic state. Again, bad. So using common sense, you do too many days in a caloric deficit, eat in a surplus, have like a refeed day, classic refeed day, eat in a surplus once a week, or eat at maintenance for a week, and then you can go back into doing, you know, prolonged fasts. So in the summertime, I do 24-hour fasts every single day. So I eat at 8 p.m. every single day. So it ends up being like a 24, 23, 22-hour fast, depending on how long I eat dinner or how much I eat. So I would say I'm doing pretty well. I probably have about 5% body fat if I had to guess. 5 or 6 maybe, but between 5 and 9% is what I would guess. So And I'll just show you here since we're talking about it. Kind of what I'm working with right now. So I just started fasting for 24 hours every day about a week ago. No, about a month ago. So before that I was just doing classic intermittent fasting. So prolonged fasts, I believe, are super healthy. If you're going to do like really ridiculously long fast, just make sure that you are prepared for it. Like, don't just, you've never fasted before and it's like, oh, now I'm just gonna hop in here with a 4-day fast. Like, no, you're gonna get sick. And you know, if you really do want to push yourself and you're experienced in fasting, you've been doing intermittent fasting for a while, that's great. And of course, if you start to get hungry, you know, you can push past that. You know, just because you're hungry doesn't mean you have to eat. That's like your subconscious telling you like, oh, normally I eat, you know, after not eating for X amount of time. So you can push past that hunger pain. But if you start to get like, you know, excruciatingly bad headaches, or like you start to get kidney pain, then I mean, it's time to stop the fast. But a lot of people are super against this because of the big problem today, and it is a big problem today with eating disorders, like, you know, bulimia and anorexia and binge eating disorder. So people hear about fasting, especially doing longer fasts, and they're like, oh, this is a terrible idea. This is, you have a problem, you need help. Like, no, the biggest sign that you have an eating disorder is that you are no longer in control. See, when I'm fasting, I'm always in control. I'm in control of when I eat, how long I want to fast, how much I want to eat. Now, if I ever got to a point where I did not feel in control anymore, then yes, then that's definitely a sign that you have a problem. But as long as you maintain control, you are in control, then it's not a disorder. Fasting is actually like the earliest form of a diet. People have been doing this forever. And I'll hop on here some other time and do a video about dry fasting. But Moses fasted for 40 days, Jesus fasted for 40 days, and there's all kinds of other documented evidence of people fasting for extended periods of time. So can you drink water when you're doing a prolonged fast? Yeah, absolutely. But you don't want to drink a ton of water, because obviously water is 0 calories. But if you drink a ton of water during your prolonged fast, you're gonna flush out all of your electrolytes and you could end up getting really sick. So during intermittent fasting, if you want to drink like black coffee or something that's also 0 calories, no soda though, no diet soda, you can definitely do that. But during the prolonged fasts, I would really recommend that you just stick to water. I wouldn't recommend coffee or anything like that, especially with the caffeine. You can end up getting like really lightheaded. So I just kind of wanted to hop on here quick and talk about this. So this is really all I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have any questions, please write it in the comments. So I really want you guys to interact with me. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends. And I'm going to continue to post more content in the days to come. So for now, I'm Chris Menser. Peace out.